Just coming back to what you were saying about G20, it's reported that Vladimir Putin suggests Britain is a small island no one pays attention to.
I'm surprised that he said that. I mean, they are now denying that he said it, but I'm surprised that he said that. I would say this. You know, Paddy Ashdown, who you mentioned earlier, said last week that because we're not going to bomb Syria, that we've lost our international standing. Well, if we're judged only on whether we bomb people, I'm delighted we should lose our international standing. There's hard power and there's soft power. And I want us to be a country that pushes soft power, and we can do it. Why? We speak English. It's the lingua franca of the world. We have a Commonwealth that's got 2 billion people in it. And you know, the interesting thing is, the more people trade and do business with each other, the less likely they are to fight each other. And I want an independent United Kingdom to take back the ability to make trade deals, which we've surrendered, of course, to the European Union. And we can genuinely help the poor by taking tariffs off their agricultural products, by spreading the concept of free trade, beginning perhaps with the Commonwealth countries. I believe we can do a lot more good in the world than just by believing we have to go around bombing people.
And it doesn't bother you that we are no longer part of private conversations with Obama and France is, and it's the Military Strategic Planning Centre in Florida. French generals can sit down with US generals and British generals cannot.
Well, you've got to hand it to John Kerry, haven't you? What a fantastic quote. France, our oldest ally. I mean, I think that for me is the quote of the week. Look, no one talks about NATO here. NATO still exists, and we are very much at the top table of NATO. We have just decided, our Parliament has decided, not our leaders, but our Parliament has decided we're not going to take military action in Syria at the moment. My worry, of course, is that everybody from Paddy Ashdown to even Boris Johnson, which surprised me greatly.
But what did surprise you about Boris Johnson, Mr. Farage?
What they're saying is that perhaps we should have another vote on Syria and whether to take military action. Now, perhaps they've all been to the charm school in Brussels, where, of course, if you say no in a referendum, you're asked to vote again.
But if the evidence changes, if irrefutable
evidence comes through that Assad has used chemical weapons and is doing dreadful things, I will still ask a question. How does firing in thousands of cruise missiles make the situation any stabler or help the suffering people of Syria?
So you let him continue to unleash chemical weapons? I
do not see what we can do that will make the situation in Syria any better.
So he carries on gassing his people?
He may well, and the opposition, infiltrated by Al-Qaeda, will no doubt carry on committing their massacres as well.
And Britain would just stand and watch?
If Britain thought, if we genuinely thought there was something we could do that would make it better, we might look at it again. But right at the moment, I have not seen a plan, I have not seen a long-term strategy that suggests to me we can make anything better.
But we did talk about incontrovertible proof, videotape of him unleashing these chemical weapons. We still just sit and
even if we have incontrovertible proof that it's him that has used chemical weapons, that still doesn't answer my question. How can us intervening militarily make it any better? Nobody has explained that to me.